How's it going, guys? How all are you doing? Welcome to a brand new video tutorial from Nodejs. Today I'm gonna do a quick comparison between the two leading languages on the web development field or on the software engineering in general, PHP versus Python. So just gonna go ahead and give you a quick introduction. What is PHP? What is Python? And just, try to help you decide whether you're deciding to learn this, which language to decide and to learn first, or which language to go ahead and use for like a project or to start learning with or to start working with whatsoever. I'm just going to go ahead and try to help you or make your decision a little bit more easier for you guys. So yeah, depending on your scenario, depending on your case, I will try to do this. So I'm going to walk you through the comparison between the two leading languages, PHP and Python, and see their major differences, plus in which scenarios you should choose one over the other, or what to learn first. So the comparisons are actually based on my experience with both languages, since I've used them on like real world projects and other people experiences shared online or with statistics or, like surveys. I also might represent my genuine opinion on both languages and why I prefer using one over the other in some cases, in different cases actually, and it depends pretty much on the case you are currently on. So it doesn't mean I'm telling you one it's better than the other or something like this. Like in cases where one is better than the other, it's just on some stuff, some features, some libraries, some frameworks, and I'm not telling any trash talk about language or something like this, or some about framework. So yeah, all the things are my personal opinion. So let me just go ahead and try to help you guys understand, or just try to help you decide what to choose one over the other. So starting off with PHP, and PHP is a powerful language, specifically designed for web development in general. It's fast, easy to use, and very, very resourceful. The pros of PHP, easy to get started with as a beginner. So if you're a beginner, you've never had any experience with programming or computer science, you know nothing about this, and you really intending to get into the web development field, PHP is a really, really nice gateway, or really nice and awesome, or the right portal to choose for getting into web development and computer science in general. Most user languages for building websites. So yeah, it's holding the web together. PHP is the most used language out there. If you go into any website, any web service or web platform, you're gonna find PHP sneaking out like underneath or under the hood. So whether you like it or not, PHP is right over there. Loved frameworks. A lot of people love and use and still use these frameworks, which are WordPress, Joomla, Laravel, which I have series on, which gonna allow you to create like high level applications. WordPress is the actual content management system that a lot of people use. A lot of website companies, big website companies, are based on, and a lot of developers actually work on. So WordPress is just, the heaven for PHP. And it's very popular and common with a large community. So if you have any problem, any issue, you can find it right over there with no problems. Alongside that, you're going to find a cheap hostings starting out $2 a month. So yeah, it's kind of very ridiculous, but at $2 a month, you can get cheap hosting, web hosting pretty much, and you can start with PHP, deploy your application, and you are ready to go. So it's very, very low cost, nothing more, nothing less. And the most efficient thing a lot of people like, which is easily embedded into HTML. So you can embed PHP and HTML together, and you can just process them or put them in the web server, and they can use successfully with no problems, and it's very, very fast and very efficient. So yeah, this is a really nice feature from PHP a lot of people like. Now moving on to Python. Python is actually a general purpose language used for web development, data science, and common software creation. It is easy to get started with and with a fast to learn. So you can easily and quickly learn Python. If you've never used something like a programming language before or something like this, you're gonna just go ahead and get started with Python very, very easy. It's a general purpose language, which means you can go ahead and create with it whatever you like, either a web application or a desktop application, either a game, or do some data science, data analysis, plenty of other things Python can do, like machine learning, or AI or something like this, Python is made and ready for you like there. High level web development with it gives you high interaction with the backend, and a low level, of course, with a server. Let's say you have Linux server, Python is the right choice for you to go. If you really want to have a full control over your server, over your Linux server, be able to process some data, some huge data with a big data or something like this, Python is actually the best choice to go for. Now, powerful frameworks, it has Django and Flask. Django and Flask are, very, very awesome frameworks to go with. They are very deep. They are very high and low level at the same time. So if you're preferring it high level, you're going to find it on those frameworks. Low level, you're going to probably find it on those with no problems. So you can just go ahead and choose those, and they are very, very well documented and has a lot of tutorials out there you can quickly learn from. Tutorials rich and well documented, as I've said. A lot of tutorials are being released and still gonna be released for Python, especially the Python version 2, which is dominating the version 3, but still version 3 is better than version 2. It's very, very documented and tutorial rich. It's beginners, intermediate, and high level use. So whether you're a beginner or you're just a pro user on it, or even you trying to use it for a high level, like an advanced pro on the language, it's just gonna work for you with no problems. It's just gonna help you a lot. Now, moving on to the parts, I'm a web developer, what to choose? So whether you're a web developer planning to be and still can't quite figure out what to learn first, this might help you to find your way in. So PHP can easy way to start with your have no programming experience and want to get right into web development. So let's say you have no experience on programming, as I said before, and you really want to get right into it. Just create a very, very basic website and just deploy it, a website for your team or charity team, for a small campaign or a small company or whatever. So PHP is as far as I can tell, as far as I can recommend, is the right way for you. Now, Python will be good if you want to be a software engineer plus get into web development. So if you're trying to get a software engineer, having skills with, Linux servers, being able to manipulate Linux servers, being able to manipulate data, doing data analytics, something like desktop creation of applications, of software, and as well as get into the web development, afterwards, or you just really want to do a web development as a hobby. So Python is going to be very, very important for this, or very, very the right thing to choose, because it's simple, it has all of that, and it has frameworks for pretty much anything. Now, PHP has fast support content management systems, or CMS, like WordPress, can easily get you started and make your first website. So with a couple of clicks, just managing some scripts without even having that much of a skill. So if you're a beginner, this is just the right choice for you. Just go with WordPress, power it on, choose a template, and you can just go ahead and deploy it with a ready-made thing. With $2, as I've said, $2 cheap hosting, you can get easily started with if you know nothing about hostings or web development and you really want to learn on, but you're still a newbie and you still quite need to release a website or small website. Python integrates with a cross-platform support if you need low-level server-side management and large data manipulation, like Linux servers manipulating big data or something. Python is quite important for this, especially for the cross-platform thing. You can run it on Mac OS X, Linux, or even Windows, or even embedded devices like mobile devices, Android or iOS. Python can be such an important thing, unless PHP is widely used and most common on the web development field only, running on servers and stuff. So it's not the common thing to run it on a cross-platform. Now, I'm gonna be a software engineer. So if you're looking to learn a language in order to be a software engineer, which basically means you will be able to work on different fields and create different types of software, either web applications or desktops or even games. So if you're trying to create your own even games, what to go for. PHP can be used with some of the set of frameworks, but it's not natively supported by PHP on itself. But you can use a server or a side framework, a third-party framework or a library, in order to create general purpose software. For example, PHP Desktop is a framework right over there available to turn your PHP code into like a native PHP application can run on a desktop, cross-platform desktop, which can be running on Windows or Linux or Mac OS X or even mobile devices. There is like frameworks for this, but it's not the best performance you can find out there, and it's not the best, story or reach thing you're gonna find, but still pretty much working. So if you're like mastering PHP and you have like a very well-known things about PHP, you really love PHP, you can go with these frameworks and you can quickly get into a hack around and find out how to create a desktop applications or cross desktop application using PHP. Now, Python is highly recommended for creating scripts, cross-platform desktop applications, and writing general-purpose software. Let's say you want to be a penetration testing and a web developer as well, since web development or penetration testing needs web development knowledge in order to do a right penetration testing. So Python can be like a really, really awesome tool for you, or an awesome language to get started with, since you can easily create scripts that you can run on the network or you can run in an application. And you can easily as well deploy it on a cross-platform. So let's say you want to Pinterest test or test a Windows server while you're running Linux. You can quietly do this with no problems, or you can just, share it for all of them and you can easily do it. So Python is a cross-platform and can easily do that if you're like trying to do a multi-purpose thing rather than web development only. Now, in my own opinion, in my personal opinion, I would recommend going with Python since it's a general purpose language. So it has a huge set of libraries and framework made ready for you, feel for you to work on. However, PHP is eventually used for web development only. So this is like my feeling. Since I've used both languages, I feel like more PHP is just web development thing, and Python can be used in both web development and like a general purpose language. You can use it on other different things, creating other different things like scripts and stuff. But still, you can use PHP, as I've said, with some hack arounds, with some frameworks, but it's not the best thing, or it's not the recommended thing to go for. Now, who's using PHP? Big companies rely on PHP for their services and websites. Pretty much like Facebook uses PHP for its social networks or social platforms alongside other languages, Wikipedia, Dailymotion, or Tumblr, and many other things, or many other companies. Alongside the majority of the content you see on the web is most likely built on PHP. Whether you like it or not, PHP is dominating in web development. So yeah, whether you like this or not, PHP is just like taking the lead between all among the other languages. You can find like either Python or Nodejs, or ISP.NET or something like this. You're gonna find PHP taking the lead of this, and yeah, like a lot of things using it. Like you can tell, Facebook is like using PHP for its social platforms like Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So like there's 48,454,514 live websites uses PHP and grow each minute. So this is like tremendous amount of websites, a live website pretty much, which means they are still running as the dates of making this video tutorial. They are completely running right now using PHP or based on PHP, and can keep growing each minute. So you can clearly see the huge amount of websites using or built on top of PHP. PHP 5 is the most used version among the others because it's wide supported and stability. It's less buggy, and it's supported with a lot of servers, a lot of web hostings. That's why a lot of people love using PHP 5. Unless there's a 7th version, and even I think they're gonna make an 8th version of that, but still they like the 5th version of it. Now PHP has 82% of a market share among the others. So if you can take a look on these charts, from the left side or from the right side, and here you're gonna find PHP taking 82.3% among all of the other available languages like Java, Lua, Ruby, Node.js, Python, and many others. So as you can clearly see, PHP is dominating them and is taking the lead. Now, who's using Python? So many companies and teams moved to completely using Python in their platforms and services, since it provides more than a web interface. Data science and analytics of big data has become a major role of it. So like many different teams have moved, let's say they were using PHP, they completely moved into Python since of its like stability and things, since they need that. So let's say they are like working only off on a website, but they needed some analytics. So they decided to completely move from PHP to use Python for all of the general things, to use Python for web development, for Python for data analysis and different things can be a major role of it. So also being user for machine learning is a win feature for it. Google, Facebook, and Udemy uses all of the machine learning from Python since it's so powerful, and Python can be like, it is the most important thing to learn for the machine learning if you try to be a machine learning guy or something. And machine learning is becoming one of the more important features on any social platform or any web service out there to make the user experience a little bit more better. Now, there's 144,599 live websites uses PHP or Python, and 835.709 uses Python historically. So the other ones are live, but still not like the PHP. But although since the Python is just like a new language to the field, especially to the field of web development, so as you can clearly see, the amount of websites out there live using Python and built on Python is huge. Python 2 is dominating with 79% being used for development. So as you can clearly see, it's huge for the Python 2 compared to the Python 3 or the third version of Python. Data analytics and web development are one of the main field of Python. So if you try to look for Python, the chart right here, as you can see, data analysis takes 50% of the other fields Python can operate on, depending on that. So data analytics is just a huge, as well as the web development with a 49% is compared to others is quite high percentage or a quite high rate. So as you clearly see, Python still winning for this, taking the lead on data analytics, as well as the web development, since it's such performance friendly and having all of this set of libraries and frameworks and very, very awesome to work with. So that was actually for the Python. Now, the most important question a lot of people have been asking, especially in 2018 and like recently, the 2 years or 3 years earlier, is pretty much PHP dying? So yeah, it's $1 million question. A lot of people are asking whether PHP is going to die in the next few years or no. And the honest question, I should have put this, the honest answer for this particular question is from someone in Quora. So if you can take a look on that, type on Google, go into the Quora's discussion field, and you're gonna find probably this tremendous answer. Is that you most likely going to die before PHP gets closest to a dying edge? So yeah, you will actually die before PHP can even be like, let's say PHP is gonna be dying. It's not gonna be dying, especially in 2018, not even about 10 years or 15 years, because the whole internet, the whole websites on the internet right now are being powered by PHP. So yeah, the whole web is built on top of PHP. So if you're using it for a reason, for not to learn PHP, I would suggest you go right now and start learning it, because there's nothing going to stop PHP or even kill it or just stopping it from, thriving, or even stopping other people from learning it, or just killing it completely from the web. This is kind of impossible. So yeah, the honest thing or the final answer for this is no, PHP is not dying. What to choose? So this section is just my personal opinion. I'm trying to help you with this. I'm just gonna give you some cases, and if the case I'm telling you or giving you, it matches yours, so you're probably gonna go ahead and try to do this. So if you're trying to learn some language, or if you're trying to use one language over the other on building a project or something, this section might help you. So if you still quite find out which one to go for, here is my opinion and recommendation for you based on your case. So what you need to do with it and what you already know. So if you're already familiar with programming in general and you want to start with web development and create basic website and applications, I really suggest or recommend going with PHP. You're new to computer science and programming in general, but you want to become a web developer, learn the basics, go with PHP as well. You want to become a software engineer which creates different apps for different platforms and still attending to work for websites and web applications. I also suggest going with, this case is Python, since, as I've told you, Python is like a general purpose language. Interested in machine learning and or data analytics and want to become a web developer by creating multi-purpose applications, I would finally and recommend going with Python. So you can quietly go ahead through these cases. If one case matches yours, I don't know, try to go ahead, take, let's say, PHP and try to learn PHP if you haven't already. I don't know, take that. As I've said, for beginners, just go with PHP. If you know nothing, PHP is the right choice for you. Start with it. After, I don't know, mastering a PHP of a year and a half, knowing the basics of PHP and web development, you can clearly move to any other language, Python or Nodejs or whatever you would like to. So that was actually, guys, for this video tutorial. It's not quite a tutorial, just a comparison video trying to help you guys out with which language you choose over the other, and depending on your case, depending on your scenario you are on. And yeah, so that's actually, guys, hopefully you can go ahead and subscribe for more video tutorials. There's like tons of tutorials on my channel, so you can go ahead and check them out. Also go to ipnews.com to find written tutorials, high level written tutorials for any web development thing, and also especially for computer science, like advices and stuff. So make sure to go ahead and go there, and yeah, push that like button if you like this video, and hopefully I can catch you all, guys, in the next video tutorial.